today's video, we are going to look at how to debate using the Debate Learning Paperless System. So the first thing you got to do when you're creating a speech doc is you got to open your OOO speech.odt document. Now that I have that open, I can start looking at any files that I might be using to construct a speech. For this one, we're just going to use this random AF for file creation purposes. Now you can see in the nav pane that you can use this in order to navigate to figure out what things you want to answer, or what blocks or cards you might want to insert over. So the first thing we're going to look at is the send selection function over. And the send selection feature works by whatever is highlighted will get sent over to your speech document. So if you noticed, I haven't taken the entirety of the card right here highlighted just for display purposes, but I want to show you how this will work. So there are two ways to send selection over. The first is there's a button up here in the toolbar up here so that you could send selection to speech. The second option you have is a key shortcut, which is Control Left. So I pressed Control Left and we go over here into our speech doc and we see that it actually sent over and it was just the highlighted portions. So you can see how that functions right there. Now we're going to talk about the send selection function, and in order to kind of understand how that functions, you have to understand how the headers work. So this is a pocket or heading 1, and if you were to press send block to speech, which is either this button right here or Control Right, you would see that it would take everything underneath this pocket and it wouldn't stop taking things until it found another pocket, which is right here in the file, called 1AR blocks. And it will always do that. So if we went here and we look at the hat of always or heading 2, what it will do if you press send block to speech is it would highlight everything that it is underneath it until it finds either another heading 2 or it finds a heading 1. It will always give way to a heading that is equal or lower to itself. The same thing with your block title, which is right here. Your block title will function the same way, which is heading 3. It will take everything until it finds another block title or a hat or a pocket. If it finds either of those things underneath it, it will stop. For example, if we were going to send this over, because this is also a block title, it would only take this card. So if I do that here, we can go over to our speech document and you see that it is sent over just that one card. And I did that, and again, there are two ways to send a block to speech. There's the button up here or Control Right. Either of them will function. So let's say I have this. It has an analytic and a couple of cards. It will stop right here because it has encountered another block title. So we'll do that right here. And we go over to our speech doc and we see that it is all moved over. So we'll clear doc. And we'll go ahead and look at it again. So let's say I'm creating a 2AC and they have read a counter plan. So there's my counter plan block. I'm going to send that over using the Control Right, and I took all of that entire block that I wanted, and then they read a disadd. Well, the way this file is set up is I'm going to want a couple different front lines for the disadd. So I'll send this generic over, and then it has a war impact, so I'm going to send that over. And so we see how all of it is over here right now. So let's say I want to put the disad first. So I can go over to the nav pane, and inside of the nav pane, I can grab what I want and I can move it. And now all of my generic disad answers have moved above my counterplan answers. And to make sure that it stays consistent, I can move my war impact above the counterplan as well. So your nav pane allows you to move things around easily and quickly when you're creating a speech doc, so that you can match the order that you want to do inside of the speech. The last thing we're going to talk about is the card clipper. Let's say that I'm in the middle of the 2AC and I'm really slow, and I'm only going to make it to right here where it says you won't feel happy anymore. And I want to mark the card to indicate to the other team that that's where I stopped. Well, there's a feature here called Card Clipper, which is this button right here. You click on it and it puts a marker inside of the text of the card to indicate that that's where you stopped. Now, I would also recommend that you go up to Tools, Customize, Keyboard, and you go through here and find a key feature that you would like to use in order to make that be inserted for you instead of having to click on the button. So I've selected Shift Space. I'll click Modify, and then I will go over to here. I will look at my LibreOffice macros, click My Macros, click Debate Learning, click the module, and then I will find the card clipper, and then up here I'll click Modify. So now, if I were instead to stop here, I can click Shift Space. There's a Control Space. Oh, I didn't save it. Let's try that again. Nope, that's not what. There we go. All right. So I've selected Shift Space. I'll go down here to LibreOffice Macros, My Macros, Debate Learning, Module, Card Clipper, Modify, and then I'll click OK. That should function. There it goes. I didn't click OK last time, so that's why that happened. But that allows you to set the card clipper however you want to use it inside of it. So this video has shown you how to create a speech document using the Debate Learning Paperless System. I hope you found it useful.